Greetings, family. This is I, Luminous, the bright one. Now this time I'm recording this video to introduce my book, Illumination, the Voice of the Truth. And to explain to those who need to understand why this book needs to be read. Okay? And why the truth is important at this time in our evolution. Why we as a human race need, okay, and I stress the word need to know what the truth is regarding who we are, where we are now, and how the world became, the world we live in now became what it is at this time. Okay. Now, what drove me to write this book was my experience in Iraq. I'm a combat veteran. Okay, combat veteran. I was a Navy corpsman, Navy FMA corpsman, and I was attached to 1st Marine Division. And during my time in Iraq, I recognized something very disturbing about the war on terror, the war that we were partaking in. And at that time, because I wasn't in a position in the armed forces to change the course of the war, but at this time, I believe where I am now, I can. Okay, I wrote this book to defeat and end terrorism, first and foremost. And as I dug and did my research to understand what I needed to understand, it became clear to me now that the world we live in now is a battle zone. The whole world is a battle zone. And we as a human race are in the middle of a very disturbing war, a very diabolic war that we need to understand. And this war is hidden. Okay, it's hidden. And we don't really see it. But what we are witnessing as mass shootings and suicide bombings and terrorist attacks and hate crimes are all part of this war, the same war that is manifesting across the globe as different events or different actions depending on the people involved. The same powers or energy that is driving the cartels in the Mexico and South America and Central Americas, the same energy that is driving the gang wars and the gang violence, and the same energy that is using police officers to murder innocent African Americans. The same energy that is behind the power that brought down the towers at 9/11 is the same energy that is creating all these events all over the world. And we have to understand what it is, because at this time, a lot of human beings, or a lot of us, are feeding this energy without knowing it. Okay? First and foremost, we live in a very energetic world, a very polarized world, and that polarization needs to stop. Okay? The polarization is what's causing the frictions that is creating all this madness that we're witnessing as catastrophes almost across the board. And we have to understand what it is. So if we want to partake in that, we do so willingly, knowing what we're doing, not ignorantly, as most people are doing now. Okay, at this time, we have to understand that we are at war. Okay, that's what we need to understand. We are at war, and if you are not living your life understanding that, then you are at fault, because you, in your ignorance, is helping the enemy attack the human race. Okay, we are at war, and on any battlefield, both sides have to know each other. And on this one, in this particular war, the enemy is using deception, okay, manipulation and deception to deceive the masses, and then it is attacking us as we sleep, or as most sleep. Okay, now my book begins from the very beginning of life, and it addresses our existence from the first creation all the way to the end, where we are right now, today, to the world we live in right now. And I take parts of history that represent specific pillars of our evolution across the history of time, and then I address those. And I address those not with the intention to insult anyone, but with the intention to illuminate conditions that we need to understand. Because a lot of us are in this bubble of illusion that we're using ignorantly to create problems for the rest of us. Okay, first and foremost, you need to understand that at this time, if you're not self-realized, or at least working on your self-realization, you are part of the problem. Okay, if you're not self-realized, that means you're not in your truth. If you're not in your truth, you have to know that you are the problem. Okay, we exist in a world that is dominated and controlled by two primary forces, two primary powers. Okay, light and darkness. Okay, light and darkness, light and darkness. Okay, light and darkness. All right. Now, here's what you need to understand. both operate, both are operating very, very, very actively in our world right now. And at this time, within the collective, within the world, the material world, darkness is dominating. Okay, darkness is dominating, and because it is dominating, it is driving itself or cementing itself, trying to cement itself into the minds and souls of the people, permanently secure itself there, and then use people going forward to advance its own agenda. Now, we need to understand that of the two powers that exist, light and dark, the two powers that exist, light ruling the day and dark ruling the night. Light coming through the colors of brightness, of, we're speaking of vibrations at this time. Light operating through bright colors and darkness operating through dark colors. Okay, now both places, and light operating through what is pure and darkness operating through that which is impure. Okay, and both right now are at collision with each other, and the collision, but it is caused by darkness. Okay, darkness is the one that has assumed a jealous, envious nature. It is attacking light, or those who are light, and also attacking those who are of dark itself, that are not subject to a specific place that darkness wants people to place at. Now, here is what we have to understand. Throughout society, wherever there is pollution, okay, darkness dominates. Okay, wherever there is pollution, anything that is polluted, darkness dominates. All these polluted places are dominated by darkness. Anywhere where you find pollution, anywhere that you find anything that is unclean, impure, that's darkness. Okay, now we have to understand that, because darkness is on an agenda to subjugate, okay, the human race, subjugate lives, so it can control and feed, because darkness feeds on life. Light doesn't do that. Light gives life. Light illuminates and it gives life. The darkness consumes and takes away. Okay, and right now what is happening is darkness has assumed a nature, a very, very aggressive nature, and it's attacking itself, and it's attacking light, and it's using people who resonate with itself, with its energy, who feed on darkness. If you're eating genetically modified foods, you're feeding unclean foods, every single human being who's feeding on anything that is unclean, if you're eating genetically modified food, you are operating at this time, darkness is controlling you, because all the commercial food industries, or the commercial medical industries, or the commercial military industrial complex, all the foolishness that we're witnessing in society now are all products of darkness. Okay, mental, spiritual darkness, and it is corrupting the very nature of humanity. That is what is causing the wars that we are witnessing across the board. That is what brought down the towers in New York in September 2001. Okay, that is what drove the United States to amass and act out of revenge against the laws of nature, against the laws of the universe, to avenge that encounter. That's exactly what darkness was looking for. You understand? Darkness was looking for a conflict, because that's what it feeds on. Okay, that's what it feeds on. Wherever you see two people or two groups at loggerheads with each other, fighting with each other, there you see darkness in jubilation, celebrating. Okay, because that is what darkness likes. That's what dark energy likes. It likes conflict. So it works to create that within people. Okay, and we have to understand that. So that's what this book is about, to help us understand that our nature and how darkness and light are operating through us, and how we need to learn how to, if we want to use both, how we need to balance both, and if you want to choose one, we need to align with one specifically. Okay, I choose to remain with light and light only, because that is my nature. That's what I resonate with. Okay, light is life. Okay, and darkness is the opposite of that. Light represents the truth. Darkness represents the opposite of that. Right now, the world we're living now has been decimated, okay, by the negative energies. We're talking about darkness at this time. So we have to understand that. So we can do what we need to do, so we can bring an end to the conflicts. Okay. In order to do that, there's work that needs to be done, very serious work that needs to be done. And that work represents us, okay, awakening and assuming our truth. Okay, that work requires us to assume our truth first and foremost, and then for us to heal. In order to do that, we have to know what is happening. We have to know what is going on. We have to understand where we are now. We have to understand the condition we are in. We have to understand the powers at play. We have to understand our minds. We have to understand our bodies. We have to understand our spirits. And right now we don't. Okay. The religions have to stop. The organized religions across the board are distorting the truth and using philosophies. Now, the religions are using distortive or manipulative philosophies to subjugate the human race to darkness. Understand? Every single organized religion on the planet today, right now, is operating not in the interest of light, but in the interest of darkness. Okay? Every single religion on the planet today that I'm aware of, that I've been able to observe, are all operating in the interest of darkness. Okay? Christianity is operating in the interest of darkness, not light. Islam is operating in the interest of darkness, not light. Hinduism is operating in the interest of darkness, not light. Buddhism, sects of Buddhism, especially Nichiren Buddhism, is operating in the interest of darkness, not light. Understand? Anywhere where spiritual practice, where religious texts are speaking of subjugating the people that practice it, that is darkness. Light does not subjugate. Light illuminates and elevates. You understand? Light lifts, illuminates. Okay, in a place where light rules, you won't see master and servant relationship. When you see master-servant relationship or devotee-master relationship, that is darkness that's operating there. And that is literally across the board. That nonsense has to stop. Okay, in order to help us understand it, so we stop feeding the negative side, or we stop feeding the darkness, we have to understand what it is and what is happening. So that's the purpose of this book, to help us understand the two primary powers and how they operate and how to navigate within them. Okay, and how to bring ourselves into a space where we can break free from the negative one that is destroying, that is threatening our survival. Okay, there's too much darkness on this planet right now. Too many people operating under the powers of darkness, and that has to stop. Okay, that has to stop. Every single human being on the planet right now who's feeding on darkness has now become an enemy of humanity. So when we can understand the world that we live in, the reality that we are in, and who's doing the manipulation and the distortion, so we don't give them our power, so we don't lie at their feet and allow them to walk over us. Okay, we as a race have to heal first and foremost, and that healing begins by us understanding the condition that we are in. So that's the purpose of this book, to help us understand the condition that we are in. Okay, and I'm speaking to those of us at this time who are living on this planet now, so we can understand that. Understand? So we can do what we need to do in order to heal and bring a peaceful solution to the condition that we're in now, and bring the world to a better place. Okay, because all the effort out there by all the organizations, Red Cross, Amnesty International, Underground Railroad, UNICEF, what do you call it, Human Rights Watch, and everybody else, United Nations, and everybody else working to bring the world to a better place, have to understand that we have to know which energy we're operating in. We have to align ourselves with light, because if we are aligned with darkness, as a wise man once said, darkness cannot defeat darkness, only light can do that. Understand? So if we are attempting to bring solutions to problems created by darkness, we have to assume our light, or we have to align with light in order to do that. If we align with darkness, we're trying to bring solutions, it won't work, because darkness will not allow you to do it, will not allow you to resolve the problems that you're attempting to resolve. Understand? So we have to understand we are in a place in our evolution where we have to know the truth. Okay? We have to know the truth of our past, the truth of the present, and the truth of the future, so we can bring ourselves to the right place, all right energy, right vibration, and solve the problems that we are attempting to solve. Because at this time, what we're doing is wasting energy, wasting time, wasting money, wasting effort, attempting to solve problems created by darkness, using darkness. Okay, that cannot happen. We have to be brought into a space where we assume our light, our truth. Okay, light is our truth. To assume our light, understand who we are, and then we can bring the solution to the table, so we can bring the problems to an end. Okay, without doing that, all our efforts are in vain. We're getting the money, we're giving us the money because we're out there pumping our fist and showing people that we are doing the work that they want to see us do. The thing is, we are doing it in our darkness. Okay, if you're out there operating in your darkness, nothing you are doing will end anything darkness is creating. Okay, it will actually amplify it. So in order to end slavery, not to end poverty, not to end war hunger, not to end terrorism, not to end racism, to end human right abuses, in order to end hunger, in order to end AIDS, cancer, and all these other diseases that we're all thriving, talking about ending, we have to align with light. We have to assume our truth and align with our truth. Only then can we bring the solutions to the table. Because right now, none of everything that most of the people who are out there fighting for the well-being of humanity are doing is working, because everyone is operating in their darkness. Understand? So that's what this book is about, to help us understand that and to guide us, to give us the tools that we need in order to assume our light. And then we can engage the darkness accordingly as a collective, because only then can we win this war that we are in. Okay, so that's what this book is about. This book was written to bring peace, global peace, to this planet. Not just that, but healing as well, and lift us out of the suffering and pain and suffering that we are witnessing now. Okay, so with that, I leave you with peace, and I hope you grab a copy and read it. It's available now for free. I made it digital, mostly digital, because these days everywhere you go, everybody's on their, on their phones and whatnot. I made it available digitally first, and I'll go to the physical, the hard copies later, because I didn't want to sell it. I didn't want to bring this work under the power of money. Okay, I want to make it available for free, and to do that, digital is the most viable platform for me. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm making it available only digitally at this time, so we can at least understand what we need to do, and eventually, somewhere in the future, when I have enough, I'll make the hard copies available, and I'll provide those as well. My intention is to make it available for free. So at this time, go grab a copy, read it so you can understand, and you can join me. You can support my work, and I can support you as well. We can support each other so we can get this work done. Okay, we can illuminate the world together and get this work done and get us out of all this madness that we're witnessing across the board. Okay, so with that, I leave you with peace, leave you with light, leave you with love. Look forward to connecting with you. One love.